morning. My name is Rachel Silverman, and I am a 2016 New York State Partners in Policymaking candidate and also a mom to a toddler with special needs. Today, I would like to address the New York State Senate on proposed legislation Access VR A 5141, sponsored by Assemblyman Santa Barbara. The proposed access legislation is one part of a comprehensive five-bill package introduced by Assemblyman Santa Barbara earlier this year called Autism Action New York. The proposed legislation will create and administer an effective service delivery model to support people on the autism spectrum from childhood to adulthood. The bill bridges a critical gap in services that people with autism face when leaving high school and moving into higher education, vocational training, or employment. The full-time, year-round employment rate of New Yorkers with disabilities ages 18 to 64 is 18.8%. This legislation would make New York State a national model, helping to break down systemic barriers which have prevented people living with autism from achieving gainful employment. According to the CDC, about 1 in 68 children in the United States lives with autism, and at some point that will be 1 in 68 adults. Autism is the fastest growing developmental disability in the country, and there is a crisis for support services. Individuals on the autism spectrum and the others with developmental and physical disabilities deserve meaningful opportunities in their everyday lives and to feel fulfilled and productive. Many individuals with disabilities, including those on the autism spectrum or with traumatic brain injury and other neurocommunication or speech and language disabilities, may often have difficulty with interpersonal communication that can hinder their ability to find and maintain employment even when they possess job skills, higher education, and access to vocational rehabilitation services. Access Bill would add communication support to the state's current vocational rehabilitation services to improve employment outcomes for job seekers living with autism. Communication support can be defined as treatment and services that focus on improving communication-related skills. These include dialogue strategies for initiating and exiting communication of intent, topic maintenance, dissolving hostile situations resulting from ineffective attempts at independent communication, and preparing for upcoming interpersonal communication situations. All New Yorkers with disabilities face enough of a challenge when it comes to employment in a competitive job market. Effective communication and supports during the vocational rehabilitation is essential. Workplace relations would be far easier to maintain if someone living with autism came into a job knowing important social and communication skills. Awareness can be raised about autism being a strength. Children diagnosed with autism who will soon be adults will have better services. With your support for this legislation, New York State can set itself apart as autism-friendly state. I thank you for your time today and would be happy to provide further information on this important legislation.